Nowadays most of the people are broke and poor. You might wonder that why is it so? Well, the answer is very simple. Because of their bad money habits and financial errors, they are still broke and trapped in poverty. Well, in this video we will tell you few such mistakes for which those people are broke and poor. Your task is to check whether those mistakes are done by you or not. If you do, then rectify them before it is too late. Let's begin with those mistakes now. They lack clearly stated financial targets. What most people do is they don't carry a financial goal written in their paper. Many of them don't even bother to set a goal. But that is not the correct thing. Every decision you make with your finances begins with setting financial goals. In other words, by setting financial goals, you're providing direction for your future financial choices. They provide you a feeling of direction and financial stability. Your financial life will also lack accountability without them. For instance, if you plan to save $10,000 this year, you must evaluate every purchase you make between now and then in light of whether it will assist or hinder your savings goals. Sincerity be damned, such a straightforward inquiry can be the difference between impulsive spending and economical living. They're not on a budget. The reality that most individuals don't live on a budget is one of the key causes of their financial situation. In fact, a recent U.S. bank research found that just 41% of Americans adhere to a budget. And lacking a budget, how are you meant to recognize when your financial situation is veering off course? Making a budget enables you to organize, monitor, and evaluate your spending patterns. Your route to financial success is already paved if you carry a budget and follow it. Before moving on to the video, I would request you to press the subscribe button and also the like button. Now let's continue. They don't keep checks on how much they spend. The fact that most individuals don't keep track of their expenditures is one of the reasons they are so broke. But that would completely contradict the point of a budget. Money might easily escape your grasp if you don't keep track of your expenditures. Then, without your even realizing it, you're broke. I like to compare expenditure monitoring to parenting. What do you as a parent do when your little child wanders off? Track them down. The same is true for your money, obviously. Money has a tendency of straying if you don't keep a tight eye on your spending habits. You need to keep record of your spending, whether it's at restaurants, shops, or grocery stores. If not, you'll be left questioning what happened to all of your money. They choose too many payment methods. Personal finance is tougher the more complexity you add to your finances. If you'll humor me for a moment, try to picture a world without credit cards or borrowing options. For whatever they wanted to purchase, everyone would have to pay cash. Can you just picture how easy your money would be with that? Your financial situation becomes more difficult as you add additional loans and credit cards. Before you know it, you're using 6 separate credit cards, each with a different balance, to make purchases. Then, you have to sign into several accounts in order to pay for all of those items. It's also quite challenging to tell exactly how much money you have and how much money you owe because each account has a different interest rate and transmits transactions at various periods. It's a terribly disorganized approach to manage your money, and it frequently results in poor spending patterns and money missteps. You can log into one bank account and know precisely the amount of money you have if you just use a credit card or debit card to make transactions. This makes keeping track of your expenditures more simpler and budgeting more pleasurable as a whole. They take out loans to buy assets that depreciate. The majority of individuals are impoverished in addition to having credit card debt because they borrow money to pay for expensive things they cannot afford. Furthermore, the majority of loans are used to buy depreciating goods like automobiles, recreational vehicles, yachts, and pretty much anything else with a motor. I'm no financial genius, but I believe that the secret to riches is to invest in things that make your money grow rather than spend more for items that depreciate in value. They use cash flow to guide their financial decisions. One of the worst financial blunders you can make is determining your ability to purchase something by the amount of the monthly payment. For instance, you may say, I can afford the monthly payment, so I can afford it, if you want to buy a new automobile. An affluent attitude might be, I can't afford this car because I can't pay for it outright, in contrast. It's simple to become bankrupt if you base your purchases on the cost of the monthly payments, interest or not. Why? Because ultimately your monthly payments will exceed your income, and the worst thing is that you will be obligated to make them for many months or even years. Buying based on monthly payments and cash flow is like steadily sending oneself to financial prison. They are not ready for emergencies. A $400 emergency would require approximately a third of American households to sell something or take out a loan, according to a Federal Reserve Board research. I'm not sure about you, but it sounds like something major. Especially since I don't think it's unusual to have a $400 emergency. In reality, I think that is only a little emergency. You only need to visit an emergency room once to understand what I mean. You could be setting yourself up for financial disaster if you don't plan for financial crises. And although they are common, risks other than medical emergency also exist. What if your automobile malfunctions? What if your job is lost? The worst aspect is that you will encounter more emergencies the less prepared you are. You don't trust me? Okay, think about this instance. Two persons are present. While the second individual has $25,000 in an emergency fund, the first person only has $100 in savings. Imagine that they both unintentionally smash their work-related phones and are thus obliged to purchase new ones. The first individual would probably classify that as an emergency, I'll wager. For the second person, though, it was only a small annoyance. They don't save till they spend. Spending money before saving is another factor in why most individuals are poor. You see, the typical individual will reduce their monthly costs from their income and utilize the remaining funds for saving and giving. This has the drawback of giving spending a higher priority than trying to conserve. This obviously results in a poor savings rate and gradual financial growth. So, flip the financial process around if you wish to properly budget and avoid the frequent blunders of the poor. Making giving and saving the first thing you do with your money can help you avoid prioritizing spending. Simply said, one should donate first, then save, and last live on what is left over. They don't consistently invest. I think it's crucial for you to realize that saving money won't make you affluent right now. You must put your money to work if you want to become wealthy, and that means consistently investing over a lengthy period of time. Do you even know the distinction between those who are poor and those who are wealthy? Rich individuals generate interest, while those in poverty pay it. Therefore, if you don't want to be broke, you should avoid taking on debt and make investments. In this manner, interest will be earned instead of being paid. That's all for today. Now you know all the reasons why most people are broke and poor. If you do any of these mistakes, then rectify it now. Remember that getting rich is easy, but for that you will have to follow proper rules. If you found this video educative, then do press the like button and also hit the subscribe button for more amazing content related to finance.